So this is Team Hydro Pump Cole Bailey here, doing a deck profile on my Zing deck that I had just picked up and finished recently. So let's go ahead and go straight into the deck profile. This is going to be a little bit different from normal, I feel like like I said, I've been testing this for a while, and this is the best way I feel like it's going to combat the meta at the moment. And this is also a fun deck from what I'm used to playing, which is shaddolls. So first off, you want to do 3 Shiwani. I don't really have to go into much detail about this, but this is your beater, and he can give the synchro monsters 500 boost. So he's the one that you really want to play 3 of. Sort of the same thing with Suwani. He's really good, and I've just bumped him up from 2 to 3 because this guy is also a beater, but also the fact of giving your monsters battle indestructibility is really good too, especially in this fast pace. Like, if your monsters can't be destroyed by attack and like Yazi can't be targeted, then like against the Clifford matchup, it's actually really strong. So it's a decent little thing. So there's 3 of him. Just organize these for you. Okay. And then next is only 2 Big C. I heard a friend of mine say that traps nowadays are just too slow. And with this deck, it is a slow deck. So I thought, traps are too slow, so maybe Big C is not as needed as anymore because, shaddolls aren't running very many back row. Let's see, Cliffwords aren't running much back row in terms of, like, to stop your monster effects except for skill drain. And Burning Abyss, again, probably will be the one deck that'll give this one the hardest time. But that's where Yazi and this comes in clutch, because this, Yazi, and Beyond is like incredibly difficult to get over. Or no, I'm sorry, not Big C. It's Beyond, Suwani, and Yazi, and with Zhao 2 makes Yazi pretty much impossible to get over for them. So just do Big C. Some people may not agree, but I've been testing it, and it's just been working pretty good. I haven't been testing against the meta, but I feel like I have a good understanding of it enough to warrant play, but we'll just see. 1 pullout's really all you need. 2 Zhao 2. I'm not jockeying the guy who topped with just the 2, and also the 2 of Chuan, because, yeah, he's good, but you don't necessarily have to have a full monster hand for him to be live. You can summon off of the other ones, and then use his effect to special summon the other ones in the deck if you have 2 in hand. So it's not necessary. I don't think it's necessary, and I hate when it clogs. So I just play 2. And the same thing with Chuan. I just feel like it's good at this number. Like I said, I've been practicing it quite a bit. Only 13 monsters, which is a relatively small amount, but that doesn't matter. Only 2 path. I was watching a video the other day. And Path is a great card. Don't get me wrong. I like this card. I just feel like it's better mid to late game, and it's kind of dead early game. So again, I'm still in the testing phase. It's been doing pretty well this way, and so I'm just playing it at 2 right now. Next up is 2 Dark Hole. This card came back to 2, and this card gets the deck rolling if your opponent doesn't. And I also have not only this way, but I have another way of getting my deck rolling if my opponent doesn't realize that, or he realizes that I'm playing Zings and he doesn't want to attack me. But I'll get that in a minute. And double pot, 3's too many, and 2 is because it's a good consistency for the deck when this deck doesn't really have it unless you attack it. 1 Mind Control and 1 Soul Charge. This over Snatch Steal because you can use face down monsters instead, but Snatch Steal is on the side just in case, and then of course Soul Charge for obvious reasons. Triple MST for obvious reasons. This deck shouldn't lose to Cliffwords pretty easily unless you just don't open well. They just open the straight nuts. Triple Upstart. This is a 37 card deck. So this is good going game 1, but game 2 you usually side it out, because this deck usually goes into time. Now onto the traps. We got 3 Creation. This card is really good. Like I said, this with Dark Hole and Monster gets your ball rolling really quickly. As long as you can control the field with this card and Boxy and stuff, you should be good. This is the card that was played a few formats ago, but I brought it back because with as fast as the decks are nowadays, this deck is just not fast enough. And so I feel like if your opponent knows you're playing Yang Zings, they're not going to want to attack you until they have the cards they need in order to win. So I feel like this card with Creation just like opens so many plays because you force your opponent to do what you need them to do, which is attack you and make you do your own thing, make you do stuff. So I feel like this is a really good card in the format for this deck specifically because it's a chainable trap on your opponent's turn, especially when they, try to chain activate vanities. You can just chain this, and with skill drain up, you can just synchro summon past the vanities and then bounce everything back with Boxy if you can do that, which I've done multiple times. So I just feel like you need to force your opponent, which is what this deck needs. Double skill drain. This is a really good card in any matchup except for Clifford's. But again, it's another card you can just easily take out along with the double breakthrough. These 4 cards, I don't want to play 3 of each because they can clog, but essentially, like, they're just really good for the deck. And like I said, 2 breakthrough, compulse, bottomless, torrential, and warning. Warning, I don't know. I don't like this card in this deck, but then again, it's kind of hard to get to my life points sometimes. Torrential, bottomless, and compulse are kind of obvious reason, especially torrential because it sets off my plays, and then bottomless and compulse are sort of the only ones that are good because it can get around the cliff forts and get around the shaddolls and get around the burning abyss, except for this card. But essentially, those are the only other traps. I can't really think of anything else for it because I've tried like trapstone stuff. It's just not good enough. For the extra deck, I don't really have a side deck right now since it's sort of a fun deck. That's sort of heck yeah. But I've been testing this, and this is just a different pace of deck that I needed. We only play 2 Boxia. You can recycle it with the path that you have. I feel like 3. You don't really need 3. Although 3 can be nice to have. I feel like if you're going into the third one, you're either winning or losing, so it's sort of a good number at 2. 2 Yazi. This card's the nuts against against Burning Abyss, especially in this deck specifically, because like I said earlier, you got Pulau and Suwani with Jiaotu, and you make this, he's pretty much unbeatable in the Burning Abyss match. So this guy's good. One Thought Ruler, he's sort of like Yazi, but he can make you gain life points every time you attack with him. And also, every time they try to, target with him a spell or trap, you can just negate it. So, it's not bad. Beetles, for obvious reasons, Jiaotu can make him, and some decks may not be able to get over him easily, but some can. Black Rose, Doi, Goyo, and HTS Sahemoth. I put him in because there are times where you want to go into this instead of this, because you can, if you want to banish it and get rid of the problem at any time instead of just stealing it, because this against like Cliff Orts is bad, Burning Abyss is kind of bad. This is actually kind of better, even though you probably take 100 with the Dante or the Virgil, like it'll banish it instead of I don't know, getting like destroying it and sending it to grave, which get their effects. So I just feel like I like that card better as well. Armades, standard rank 5, the only 5 I ever play. And then the last few is Balmung and Arc Light. I have a couple more, but I'll get those to in a minute. These are sort of staple, so I'll play these as well. And the last 3 are Leo, which is kind of standard. Gigantic Castle and Star Eater. Gigantic Castle is supposed to be Mistworm, but at the same time you have Boxy, which does essentially the same thing. So I feel, as of now, since I don't have Mistworm, I'm just going to play Gigantic Castle, because he can get really big and just swing. And he's pretty much unstoppable, because since he's a level 9, you can do Beyond, Bixie, Pulau, and Suwani with the Chewin, and he's practically unstoppable. Same thing with him. I mean, in terms of just the levels, the same thing with him. Like, you get him on the field, and you attack him, you attack with him, they can't do anything to him. There's like literally nothing you can do, because it's just crazy. So both these cards are sort of just win more cards, but they're also in here for utility, because in the circumstances and you know, in some games you can just make these and just win. So those are all the cards, all the extra deck monsters. But that is my Yang Zing deck, and appreciate y'all watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and this is Cole from Team Hydro Pump. Check it out.